please, Justyn Ross is available, and we know that he can use his size. You having trouble in the red zone? Just give him a chance. Just get to know him. Just get him a chance.
It's the best reception he's had all season when he's allowed to just go climb the ladder and go get it. So put it in a spot where he scores points with it. Hey, there's an idea.
Nice.
Oh, KL, thank you, buddy. Appreciate your support as always, pal. Kelsey, does it seem like other teams are able to plug and play their rookies? What about our offense? Do you think makes it less plug and play for the rookies versus other teams? It's super complex on every single level, particularly for the skill level guys. And it's very, very, very wordy. Like I know that they've tried to cut it down the last few years because it just gets to the point where it's taking like 8 seconds to ramble the damn thing off. And you're in between plays, you're trying to relay it in from Nagy to coach to whoever, it's taking time. In fact, the Broncos got into a tough spot a couple of times where they were overthinking. They were getting the play in and it was like, 3-4 seconds left on the play clock. And I think that's part of the problem. So you really got to have those reps in order to just get your rookies in there.
Yeah, they're also limiting it a little bit. Like, for whatever reason, McVay has been able to just limit what routes Puka Nacua does, but he plays on the outside and in the slot. So he's limiting the routes that he has to learn, but kind of opening up his offense to the idea of moving him around a lot and getting comfortable with that. So the focus is a little bit different. Andy Reid right now, typically it looks like he's doing a little bit of the same with Rashee Rice. But the difference being Rashee Rice had 4 receivers in front of him. Puka Nacua was the number 1 receiver on that team when they started. Like, it is a little bit different. Last year, Sky Moore had 5 receivers in front of him at times, and this offense is not built as it's constructed now to harbor a rookie as a number 1 receiver, and they don't feel like they ever want to do that. But I think that if they needed to, they absolutely could.
I agree. Thanks, Kelsey. Hang on, I'm going to go right back. The receivers are stopping the routes, and that's part of it, because you need to run through those routes. It takes a while. That's part of it, Sean, is like learning to play with the quarterback is also part of the challenge. Harvey, very much appreciate you. Thanks, buddy. Glad you're here. Red Hood, let me go back to you. I understand packages and whatever, but long-term Pat isn't going to trust the wide receivers if they don't get the reps, which in turn makes Pat constantly focus solely on Kelsey because he's the only constant. And that is a problem. You got to find what sticks and you got to grow that. It's like planting a garden. Like I grow jalapenos. If I try to grow habaneros, they don't grow because I don't treat them right. Because you got to do a little bit ready for like each thing. And I agree. That is part of the process. I think they'll settle down in the next couple of years, but I'm not sure everybody that's going to be here in 2028 is on this roster.
Yeah, I do have it on good authority that Patrick Mahomes trusts Rashee Rice and trusts Sky Moore, but plays are not drawn up right now for them a lot. 4 targets and 4 targets. That's 8 targets out of 45 dropbacks. Okay. Yeah. That's a lot of targets going elsewhere too. And especially because even on the last play of the game, that was a scripted play for somebody. I don't know exactly who it was. It might have been Tony. I didn't see who was on the field. It was just not too much going on. And then Mahomes took the sack, but that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
That screen play was going for a touchdown because they did 0 blitz him. He was able to get the ball off.
And that's why he got sacked, because he just saw it and he wanted it to develop so bad that he held on to it even somebody else. And that's on Juwan Taylor. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'll probably have to pull that clip because Juwan just let Zach Allen go.
Inside man first.
Yep. I don't think it was. It was not one of those, we're going to leave the guy on the edge unblocked so Pat can run outside. That was not it. That was a blown protection. And we'll talk about that later in the week. You're going to have breakdowns from Dan, from me. Gary will be back. Seth will be back.